A research paper about personhood aims to ensure that only actual people take part in online activities, which is increasingly important as artificial intelligence advances. The system requires individuals to verify their identity at trusted locations, confirming their status as real humans, as AI systems would be unable to go to physical locations. And the credentials use zero-knowledge proofs, a cryptographic method that allows users to prove they have a valid personhood credential without sharing personal details. This verification protects individual privacy while confirming identity. However, the success of personhood credentials depends on widespread adoption by platforms, digital services, and governments. Thefts in the cryptocurrency space are the order of the day, so it's unusual to see the same tactics being applied to capital markets. The SEC found that Equinity Trust Company did not have sufficient controls in place to prevent two separate incidents. While the company had sent fraud alerts and guidelines to employees, the SEC found these efforts lacking. There was no confirmation that employees read the alerts or consistently followed key security steps, such as callbacks for verification. Control monitoring and internal auditing would have helped here. Companies that hadn't been planning for DORA compliance by January 2025 may find their fourth quarter is all about DORA. Financial institutions must develop a clear information and communications technology risk management framework, ensure prompt incident reporting, and manage third-party risks. One challenge will be ensuring IT service providers also comply with DORA. The other big challenge is that under DORA, companies must report incidents within a strict 24-hour window. And the penalties for non-compliance are severe, with fines of up to 2% of worldwide annual turnover. Forrester's latest report suggests that next year's security budget should focus on resilience and adaptability, focus on human risk management to reduce errors and theft, while upskilling teams with practical training, replace outdated tech like old MFA and legacy MSSPs with modern solutions. Surprisingly, they suggest swapping SIM systems for security data lakes to cut costs and improve analysis. A federal court rulings clarified that IP addresses aren't considered identifiable health information under HIPAA. This comes after HHS dropped its appeal against the American Hospital Association. The ruling lets hospitals use tracking tools on public websites as long as no specific health data is involved. Judge Pittman's decision only applies to websites without login requirements. Verkada has agreed to pay a nearly $3 million fine for violating the CAN Spam Act, marking a significant moment in spam enforcement. Beyond the penalty, they're now required to implement a full security program, undergo third-party audits, and file annual compliance reports. Despite internal warnings, data vulnerabilities went unaddressed and false HIPAA claims were made without proper controls in place. The FFIEC is retiring the Cybersecurity Assessment Tool on August 31st, 2025. Released in 2015, the CAT assisted banks in evaluating their cybersecurity risk. However, the CAT doesn't meet the changing needs of financial institutions anymore, as it mainly focused on static security controls across different maturity levels. Newer tools offer more flexibility and can adapt to the fast-changing threat landscape. The National Credit Union Administration will continue supporting its automated cybersecurity evaluation toolbox for credit unions. Institutions under the FDIC will switch to the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0. LinkedIn's using user data to make its AI better, but they haven't updated their terms of service yet. At the moment, the current terms don't provide information on data usage in generative AI training. Typically, terms of service provide the key information about data collection and usage practices. If you think this is creepy and want to opt out, LinkedIn has already rolled out a setting to control data use for AI training before updating its terms. Users can access by going to data privacy under their profile, selecting data for generative AI improvement, and then toggling the setting off. Users can still use LinkedIn's AI features even if they opt out of this setting. California is on the verge of becoming the country's leader in artificial intelligence regulation, with several important bills awaiting the governor's approval. The AI Safety Act addresses risks linked to large-scale AI models and aligns with the European Union's AI Act, which governs models with similar high risks. California's governor should decide on this bill by the end of the month. If signed into law, the AI Safety Act will become effective on January 1st, 2026. The AI Safety Act has a few important provisions, like AI models should include safeguards against unauthorized access and be able to shut down to prevent disruptions to critical infrastructure. Developers must regularly review written protocols and have third-party audits starting in 2026, with reports made public. Organizations must report safety incidents within 72 hours and submit annual compliance statements to stay compliant. And before releasing their AI models, developers must evaluate the risks of any potential harm.